Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi, Barakatuh. Today, inshaAllah, we are together in lesson number 8. Lesson number 8 is going to be about As-Sokoon, Al-Huruf As-Sakina, the letters that are in a Sukoon state. We are going to learn how to pronounce the letters when they are Sukoon and what is Sukoon. So let us start. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وبالصلاة على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. At the beginning, I would like to go through the curriculum that we already covered and the curriculum that we are going to take in the coming lessons, inshaAllah. We already took the names of the letters, we knew the names of the letters, and then we also took the shapes of the letters, and we are able to identify the letter. The shape of the letter, we are able to identify it when it's written at the beginning of the word, in the middle, and at the end of the word, and whether it's connected from both sides or not, and so on. Lesson number 3 was about a quiz regarding the two previous chapters. And then we moved to the movements. And we knew how to pronounce the letters when they have a movement, and the movement is the fatha, the kasra, the damma, and so on. In lesson number 5, we covered the essential elongation rules, in our reading. And by the way, the elongation just concerns reading the Qur'an. It has actually nothing to do with reading the Arabic. And in the Arabic, we just apply the basic 3 letters of elongation, but the other rules regarding the elongation that we already covered is only regarding reading the Qur'an. We then moved to the elevation, and we knew the letters of elevation and when are they elevated. In lesson number 7, we covered the tanween, regarding the fathatin, kasratin, dammatin, and the difference between them and how they are read. Today, inshaAllah, in lesson number 8, we are covering the Sukoon letters. Coming ahead is the shadda, the noon sukoon, the mim sukoon, and the signs in the Qur'an. So let us proceed with lesson number 8 and let us start. It's one of the most important lessons, actually, in, let us say, perfecting your reading, So we already, as I mentioned before, we already took the fatha, kasra, damma, and how to pronounce them. And, in all the letters, if they have a fatha, then they are pronounced in the same way. We say ba, sa, ta, tha, and so on. And even the kasra, bi, ti, si, li, the damma, bu, tu, thu, and so on. They are, all the letters, if they have a damma, they are pronounced in the same way, and the same with the kasra and the fatha. But what is the sukoon? The sukoon is when the letter is not moving. It doesn't have any movement. It is standing still where it is in the makhraj, in the exit. Inshallah, when we finish our curriculum of this beginner's level, we are going to move forward to other rules regarding tajweed rules in reading the Qur'an, and also a new chapter regarding the exits, the makharij of the letters and the characteristics of them. But in this lesson, we are going to go a little bit in the exits of the letters and the characters of them, just what we need for a better pronunciation. So let's go back to the sukoon. What is the sukoon? How do we pronounce it? And is it the same regarding all letters or what? I mentioned now that pronouncing the letters with the same movement, we do the same procedure. So is it the same with the Sukoon letters or what? But before we move forward, we need to mention that this sign, if you find it above any letter, this letter is in a Sukoon state, okay? Meaning, as I just mentioned now, that it is not a moved letter. It doesn't have a fatha, kasra or damma. It has this Sukoon sign, meaning that it is silent. And letters, when they are silent, they are pronounced in different ways. Not all the letters are pronounced in the same way when they are silent. So let's have a look at the letters and how they are pronounced when they are Sukoon. The letters are pronounced from different exits in the mouth. So for example, the letter Sin has a different exit than the Ba, than the Noon. Let us try and see, where is the Sin pronounced from? What are the organs in the mouth that we use to pronounce this letter Sin? If this Sin is a Sukoon, then I cannot pronounce it on its own. I can pronounce a Sin fatha. I can say sa. I can begin with a sa, with a si, with a su, even tanween, san, sin, sun. But if this Sin has a Sukoon, I cannot pronounce it on its own. And this is what we need to know. I need to pronounce a Sin Sukoon so that I can know exactly where the exit of this letter is. And to be able to do this, I need to get a supporting letter, which is a moved letter before the Sukoon letter so that I can pronounce it. The scholars mention that we can use the Hamza because the Hamza is pronounced from the deepest part of the throat, away from most of the letters. So it becomes easier to pronounce these letters. What I'm saying now, maybe it's not totally explained to you as a beginner level, but later on, inshaAllah, we are going to study it in more details and you are going to understand it more and more, inshaAllah. So here, I need to pronounce a Sin Sukoon. So I'm going to pronounce a Hamza Fatha before the Sukoon letter. And I'm going to say S. This letter, Sin, is Sukoon. S. I did not say As-sa, neither As-si, neither As-su, Fatha or Kasra or Damma, but I'm using a Sin Sukoon. So please kindly, I expect that you are saying after me. Say S. If I ask you, where did this Sin come from? Where did this sound come from? You are going to say, for example, from the front part of the mouth, right? S. I am getting the two jaws, both jaws so close together so that I can hear this whistling sound. Yes, this is correct. Where is the tongue? Let's try again. S. The tongue is at the back of the teeth and it is guiding the air to go out in this whistling sound. Let's try again. S. S. Okay, so this is the makhraj. This is the exit of the Sin. This is how we pronounce the letter Sin. Okay, and then what about the Ba? Let's pronounce a Ba Sukoon. And as I mentioned with the Sin, we are going to apply with all the Sukoon letters. Let's pronounce a Ba. If I want to pronounce a Ba Sukoon, I need to have a supporting letter at the beginning, and this supporting letter must have a movement. Whether it's a Fatha or a Kasra or a Damma, it's perfect. So, as we agreed upon, we are going to pronounce a Hamza Fatha before the ba sukoon, and we are going to pronounce the ba. Ab. Again. Ab. What happened? Is the sound of the ba running, like the scene, for example, as the sound of the scene is flowing? What about the ba sukoon? Ab. Total termination of the sound. The sound suddenly stops. But before we talk about these characters, what is the makhraj of the letter ba? What is the articulation points? Where is the exit? Where did the ba merge from? All these questions guide us to the same answer. Ab. The ba is pronounced from the two lips by using both lips. Ab. Colliding against each other. Ab. Is this exit closed? Yes. How do I know this? Because it's not allowing any flow of sound. Okay. The noon. Let us pronounce a noon sukoon, and we are going to follow the same concept. We're going to put a hamza fatha and pronounce a noon sukoon. And okay, where did the noon come from? Where did it exit, merge from? It merged by using the tip of the tongue and against the just above the upper teeth in the upper jaw. And okay, is the sound running or is it terminating? Is it running like the scene? Let's compare. And is it terminating like the ba? The sound totally terminates when the two lips collide together like the ba. Ab. Let's compare. And okay, I feel, and this is the truth about this letter, that it has a running sound, but a short running sound. Shorter than the sin and longer than the ba. Let's pronounce them all. As, ab, and. So these are this is how we know the exit of these letters, and of all letters actually. This is the technique we are going to use to know where this letter is pronounced from. And as you noticed, I am using a practical part, okay? I'm not saying, just words. The exit of the letter seen is by using so and so. The exit of the ba is, no. I need you to understand. I need you to feel the letter. I need you to know where is the exit of these letters. I don't want you to study by heart, just to know by heart, just the definitions and so on. We don't want this. We are not in an academy. We are trying to learn how to read Qur'an. So we need it to be practical, because reading Qur'an is a practical thing. And I also want you to get this technique of knowing if you are pronouncing the letter properly or not. So it's by trial. So again, these letters are pronounced from a certain place by using a hamza fatha and using these letters in a sukoon state. Okay, so these letters differed in character also. They have different exits, they merged from different places, but also they have different characters. Do the letters have characters? Yes, they do have characters. So for example, the letter ba, the character of it when it's pronounced from its makhraj, from its exit, is that the sound terminates. while the sin has a soft character because the sound is running. But also the sin has a flowing of air. It has a whispering sound. Let's try. As it has this whistling sound. And if you put your palm in front of your mouth, you will feel the flow of air. As. And you also hear the softness of this letter because the sound is flowing. While the ba has a contrary character, and this is hardness, meaning that the letter terminates in its exit. Ab, ab. While the noon, for example, has this nasal sound. If I close my nasal, I'm not going to get a proper noon sound. And let's try it together. And while when I let go of my nasal and I don't close my nose, I will pronounce a proper noon. And so this noon has also another character that's different from both letters, and that is using the nasal while we are pronouncing the noon. And also we have an elevation character, which we are going to emphasize on it. We already took it. We already studied the elevated letters. Okay, right? So each letter has a certain makhraj, exit, and also different characters. And this is what we are going to study in the coming lesson. But there are certain characters that we need to emphasize on in this level so that we can read properly. There are different exits for different letters. There are different characteristics for these letters, but we are going to concentrate on these three characteristics. All the letters in the Arabic language are divided on these characters. So these characters, three characters, include all the letters, meaning that each letter must belong to one of those three characters. But what are these characters? What are they? I think we mentioned already this sign, and this is the sign of the Sukoon. Like the sign, of the fatha, which is a small streak above the letter. The sign of the kasra is beneath the letter. The sign of the damma, which looks like a small waw. And this is the sign of the Sukoon letter. What are these characters? One of them is shidda. Shidda means hard, like the letter ba. The sound of these letters terminate in their exit. So we say ab. Let's try the kaf, for example. And we're going to try it when it's sukoon, okay? Don't forget this. Ag. It terminates, actually. Let's try the dal. Ad. So strange that we can't really hear the whole sound of the letter, like the dal, for example, right? And this is what we're going to talk about later. What is this softness, rakhawa? Like in the scene, it runs in the makhraj, in the exit, the sound runs, right? Let us try, for example, the letter tha, and let's pronounce a tha sukoon. Immediately when I say let us pronounce a tha sukoon, any sukoon letter, I am immediately going to put a hamza fatha before. And let's pronounce this letter, f, f. You can hear the flow, the softness of this flow of air in this letter. F. So it has softness. What about the sheen, for example? Let us try. Ash. Ash. So it also has softness. Each letter has either hardness, either softness, and either in between. No one letter can have both characteristics. So it's either the exit of this letter totally closes, not allowing any flow of the sound, or that the exit is opened a little bit, allowing this flow of sound, flow of air, flow of whistling character. And then we have this in between, which I mentioned when I said regarding the noon sukoon. There are letters that has an in-between flow of sound. It doesn't flow so much as the letters of softness, and the sound does not terminate like the letters that have this hardness character, but it just flow a little bit. Okay, so here we have this standing still lady where the sound terminates and it just stands still in its makhraj. And then we have this lady that is running, the sound runs. And here we have this lady that is walking a little bit, slowly, and it resembles the in-between character. Let's move forward. And this is the division of the letters regarding those three characters. Letters that has hardness, shidda, where the makhraj, the exit, does not allow any flow of the sound. And these are those 7 letters: the hamza, jim, dal, qaf, ta, ba, kaf, and da. So these are the letters that have this hardness character, shidda. Okay, and then we have 5 letters that has this in-between character: the lam, noon, ayn, mim, and ra. All the remaining letters, without even mentioning them, they belong to the soft character, rakhawa. So in Arabic, this is called shidda. In between is called tawassut, or bayniya. It has another name, and both are the same. And this softness character is called rakhawa. So we have shidda, tawassut, and rakhawa. What we do is that we learn those letters that has shidda, and then we know the letters that has tawassut, and all the remaining letters are the letters of rakhawa. Okay, so this is what we do actually. We learn the letters that the character that has the minimum letters, and we know them by heart, and then all the remaining letters belong to the rakhawa. Okay, inshaAllah, next time we are going to move to each character on its own, and we are going to study those letters from a closer look regarding the letters, regarding the exit of these letters and the characters of these letters and how we pronounce them. The idea is, from this chapter, is to know how do we pronounce these letters when they are sukoon. I hope that you find this video of benefit to yourself, and inshallah, if you do this, if you find it beneficial, kindly subscribe so that you receive all the videos as soon as they are published, and like and share so that you can have part in sharing this knowledge, inshaAllah. I thank you so much for your attendance and your attention, and I'll see you in the coming recording, inshaAllah. Part number 2, lesson number 8. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.